This is a video on how to open the Samsung Galaxy S8 phone. The reason I want to open it is because the phone was submerged in seawater. I didn't immediately turn it off, so after a few hours it just stopped working, and it also didn't want to charge anymore. And I saw on YouTube that if you open the phone and clean some of the connectors, you might have a chance that it starts working again. So from the outside we see that there are no screws anywhere, but the back panel is stuck together with glue. So in order to open the back panel, we need to first heat up the glue so it will be easier to open the back panel. And in my case I don't have an air heater, so I'll use a conventional hair dryer to heat up the glue on the back panel. So this might take a while, so I will fast forward to then. But before you open the back panel, you should open the SIM tray and take out the SIM tray with a small pin or a paper clip that you unfold it and just take it out, so that you have one thing less to open when you open the back panel. So let's start heating the back panel with the hair dryer. So I heat it up all along the border of the phone using the hair dryer, and now I can put a sharp knife in between the back panel and the phone. And now to separate, I can use any plastic card like this one and put the card in between the knife and the phone, and then slowly go along the edge of it to unhinge the back panel from the phone. You want to do it carefully so you don't damage any internal connectors on the phone. So now I already can put the whole card in, and I just have to go all around the phone slowly and carefully so that the plastic won't break. And as you can see, there are parts of the glue which get unhinged, and I just have to do the same thing on the other side to unhinge the glue. And in the middle here is the fingerprint button, which is connected to the main board inside, so you must be careful not to damage that. So once you went all the way, you should be able to lift up the back panel. Usually for this you use a suction cup, but since I don't have one and I don't know where to buy one over here, I'll just use the card. There's quite a lot of glue in here, but you should be able to open the back panel slowly but surely. So now it seems that the back panel is largely unhinged, so you just have to separate it slowly. So there's quite a lot of glue. I just be careful that when I pull the back panel that the cable for the fingerprint stays connected. If not, it might not work later when I assemble it back. By the way, this is the first time I open any phone. But since this phone doesn't want to turn on at all, I don't have much to lose. And I think the fingerprint connector already detached when I opened the back panel, so I just hope it still works. As you can see, the screws on the Galaxy are the standard Phillips screw, and luckily I still have a screwdriver lying around, which is the number 00, so it's the smallest Phillips screwdriver, and there are several screws that I need to take out. Let's start with this one. Oh, they go out fairly easily, and I hope they're the same size so I don't have to remember which screw goes in which hole. I'll just put them on the location where I took them off so I can remember which one went where. There seems to be no water damage from the first look, but we'll see when we take out this back panel, which is the wireless charging coil. Careful not to puncture any device. Okay. Be very careful and check if there's any connector somewhere. So the charging coil is connected to the battery by these things. There doesn't seem to be any water damage, but let's continue taking off the other pieces of the puzzle piece. Just lifts up like that. Or maybe perhaps below here there could be some water damage. I think this piece is the motherboard. So let's take off the connectors and try to clean them. I see here there's a connector, and this one is another one, and there's another one over here. So that's the battery connector. I think I'm not supposed to use like metal on the battery connector. Then there's here the main one to the motherboard, and then there are the small connectors over here. The white one is underneath and the blue one is on top. So what I saw on the other YouTube video is the person was cleaning this connector with a toothbrush as well as this over here. This is for the wireless charging, I believe, and this is the connector of the main board, so I'll try to clean that. There doesn't seem to be any water damage from what I can see. So it looks like perhaps there's water who came in through here, through the bottom part. So this is the connector for the earphone plug. Maybe I'll take that one out also. There could have been some water damage over here. So this is this 3000 milliampere Samsung battery. You can get a new one for $20, I believe, but I don't have $20 to spare at the moment. And as usual, don't let your dog open the phone, because no dogs are allowed. I don't really want to open this part of the phone because if not I might not remember where all of the pieces go back, because there are a lot more screws over here, and then if I take them out I probably won't remember where to put them back in. So as you can see over here there's a red cross. That means that water came in, I believe. If not it would be completely white, but it seems the water already evaporated. Here you can see the heat sink of the phone. Oh yeah, you can see here some corrosion over here. So it means the water probably entered through the bottom. If not, this screw wouldn't have been discolored. So I believe the water came either through the audio jack port or through the USB-C port. But now it seems to be completely dry. So if you want to use your phone near the water, you better use a waterproof case. I don't know if they have one for the Samsung S8, but they probably do have from a third party, perhaps from Lifeproof or OtterBox. Even though they advertise it as IP8 water resistant, I wouldn't count on it. I think the Sony Xperia have better water resistance than any Samsung or iPhone. So if you really need to go near the water, better get a waterproof case. Or don't use your phone near the water. The USB-C port doesn't look waterproof at all, but maybe it has waterproofing in the inside. I want to try to test if anything works at all, so I will screw some things together just for testing purposes. Now I will just connect all of the connectors together and try to test if there's any life in the phone. First I connected the blue and white wire, then the audio jack connector, the motherboard beneath here. It should make some kind of clicking sound. And then the white connector over here, which is really tiny. You're supposed to have like a special tool for that, but I don't have one, so my fingernails should be used for that. Then the motherboard with this connector over here to click together. And then the battery. The clicking sound is not very satisfactory, but it should make a distinguished sound so you know it's connected. I believe now all of the connections are back in place, except this white one came off again. Okay, so I think now the connector is back in place. So let's double check another time. The main board, which is underneath, and then this connector, and then the battery, and then whatever this is, I think it's the front camera, and then the connector over here. Let's try first without the wireless charging. But I'm going to use a power bank instead of a plug which connects to the mains, so if I get the electric shock from the power bank it's not as high as from the electric plug. So let's carefully plug it in and see if there's any charging. So it doesn't look like it's charging anything. Let's try another cable. So there seems no sign of charging going on over here. I believe the culprit must be down here. Let's disconnect the battery and try to take apart the bottom over here. So I believe this is the piece that is not working.